What's up YouTube, Apocalyptyc here, back with a new video. In this video, I'll be showing you guys what I think the best Thor skills are in the skill tree. Now, I'll make a separate video on the best gear to make a whole complete build, but at the moment in time, I would wait a couple days because the people are still playing the game and leveling up. So, if anyone's level or power level 50, then this is going to be for you. You know, if you spent all your skill points on all the skill trees, this is what I would recommend using. And then I'll do a separate video for a specific build with like weapons and gear. So let's get into it. So as you can see, I'm level 50. So I've got everything unlocked on my skill trees. Now this one obviously is going to be maxed up. For special E, I'm going to start off on the left side. So in this one, there's these three here. There's Ymir's Wrath. Nearby teammates receive a temporary damage boost of 25% when Warrior's Fury is activated. Then there's Hell's Discretion. Nearby down teammates will be revived when Warrior's Fury is activated. And then there's this one, nearby teammates recover 10% willpower every 3 seconds while ability is active. Now, I was originally going to use this one, but the reason I decided not to is because it depends on, like, you know, who you're playing with, but we don't really go down that much. So there's no need for me to use that because most of the time we just destroy everyone. Like, you know, if you've got a good enough build and you're working as a team, you shouldn't really be going down. And with the abilities you have as a character, you should be able to get, you know, your willpower back, you know, pretty easily with the right build you have. That's why I'm not putting this on. That's why I use this one. And on the right side, you know, there's enemies defeated while Warrior's Fury is active, has 50% chance to drop Heroic Orb. Then there's nearby teammates receive an intrinsic energy boost of 20% while Warrior's Fury is active. I have no idea what that word was. And then increased critical attack damage by 25% and critical attack chance by 10% for anyone affected by Warrior's Fury. This is really good, you know, especially if your teammates around. You want to get as much boost in damage as possible, especially with the crits. The critical damage will definitely help you out, especially when you're on, like, you know, late game and you have to face like very tough enemies like adaptoids and dreadbots. So I think this one's really good. Hell's Anger. Moving on to Assault Heroic ability. For this one, I have Thunderstorm. Hold up 3 charges of the God Blast ability. The ability charges faster than normal, but enemies are not lifted into the air when God Blast is active. Now, I do miss lifting enemies into the air, but you get 3 of these, so, you know, I would rather have 3 of these than just to lift people up into the air, so I would personally go with Thunderstorm. Let's see what the other ones do. This one, God Blast Whirlwind inflicts 20% more damage and applies cryo damage to targets caught in the swirling vortexes. That is pretty nice, especially if you're going for a cryo build. And then this one is enemies caught in the God Blast Whirlwind have a chance to drop region packs. 33% chance to region packs, which I think is okay, but I still would rather go with the 3 of these, personally. On this one, we have Overexposure. God Blast inflicts 15% increased normal and stun damage against shocked enemies. Now, we love stun damage. Stun damage is always really good, so you can finish off your combos and your finishers. So I'd always go for stun damage whenever you get a chance, even if it's on like an ability on your gear. But we have God Blast inflicts 20% increased damage when triggered while overcharged. Requires Divine Chaos skill. And this one is defeating enemies with God Blast refunds 5% of Assault Heroic energy. But yeah, I would rather this one out of the 3. I'll probably go for this one if I wasn't using this one. But yeah, this one I think is the best at the moment. On this one, heroic ability, we have Bifrost channels the heart of Jotunheim. Impact to create an icy explosion that deals a massive amount of cryo status damage. Slowly, any affected enemies affected by the status effect. So this one's good because, you know, it will freeze them over time. Pretty sure if they're, you know, inside the circle. Look at that, it holds them up. That's pretty sick. Then we got this one. Bifrost creates a circular aura of healing around its impact point that restores 10% of willpower second to the all teammates within the area. This one I think is good. If you're going for like a more you could go for like a medic kind of build where, like, you know, you want to help out your team as much as possible in terms of, let's say you're having a hard time to defeat enemies and you want to heal as much as possible. You know, this would be good with I think it was one of these ones, the healing one. Yeah, with this one. So, you know, if you're going for that type of build, then that's good. But, you know, I don't think Thor needs to be playing that type of way. He's more of a powerhouse, so I would say go for more damage than healing. So that's why I'm going with this one. Bifrost leaves a massive circular hazardous zone of burning embers and an impact point. dealing additional damage as well as burn damage to all enemies inside the radius, which I think is pretty dope, pretty sick. And the last one is Bifrost creates Aura of Healing. Oh, I already went through that one. But yeah, then I have a cryo one. So you got 2 cryo ones you can go to. Now onto the last one, we have Heroic Orbs restore an additional 5% of ultimate heroic energy when picked up. You got automatically recovers 50% of your maximum willpower when returning from the Bifrost, which is pretty good. But it's only if you've lost health. And then you got automatically activate Odin Force Overcharge when returning from Bifrost. I think this is good because as soon as you come back, you want to be straight away as strong as possible. Because like you want to take, let's say you use it to take down someone's shield. As soon as you take down their shield, you want to do as much damage to them after as well. So, also if you're by yourself and you're not with a team, and you find a person by yourself, I think it's definitely good because it's not going to be like harder for you to, you want to have as much Odin Force as possible. So it's coming out of it and having Odin Force straight away, I think is really good. So I would definitely recommend this. But now we're into the mastery tree. We got melee. Increase melee stun damage by 50%. And as I said earlier, melee is really important. I mean, stun damage is really important. I think, being able to stun enemies is really good, especially as a team. You can stagger them and you can easily finish off your combos and do as much damage as possible. Increase all range attacks by 15%. That one is good if you go for more of a ranged build. And then you got light and heavy attacks boost the energy of all heroic ability meters by 1.5% for light attacks and 2% for heavy attacks, which is okay, but I don't think it's enough percentage for me to choose it over something like this or even this, to be honest. So that's why I'd go with this one. Increase damage from unarmed attacks by 50%. Increase the critical damage attack when air juggling enemies 15%. Increase damage from combo finish up by 25%. I think this one's more important because this one seems good, but be realistic. How much times are you going to be juggling enemies in the air versus when you're actually going to be, finishing someone off with a combo? I think this one's way higher and the percentage is higher, so I'll definitely go with combo damage. Perform a takedown spawns a regen pack. Perform a takedown spawns a heroic orb. And takedowns recover a bonus 50% amount of willpower. We want that willpower. We want to have health all the time, so we don't need to, constantly rely on other things like going for health packs, when you're weak. This one, we got hold RT to charge tornado, throw, and cause the hammer to spawn a series of lightning explosions on impact. Disables the ability to pin combatants. I love pinning enemies. This seems like a pretty decent one. We got hold RT to manually target enemies or aim a tornado throw. Disables the ability to pin combatants. And then we got this one, which is hold RT, then release precisely when the hammer flashes. To guarantee the throw inflicts 20% increased critical damage. Requires tornado throw to be unlocked. This one's really good. Now, if you don't want to do stun, which I suggest you do, but instead you go for the range attack one, that would be really good with this. I think it would be, really good together, but I still say use the stun. But yeah, I definitely recommend going for that. Increase the chance that the hammer will inflict critical damage with return of flight by 35%. That's pretty decent. Increase hammer throw and recoil speed by 15%. And if you're going for more of a rangey build again. And then range attacks with the hammer break through blocking enemies. I hate blocking enemies with a passion. I think this is really good because there's a lot of blocking enemies and that stuff annoys the hell out of me. So I personally would choose this one. My build isn't like... I'm not super ranged. I would say I'm melee more than ranged. Even at the moment it says my ranged rating's higher than my melee because I haven't finished my build completely yet. But I'm more of a melee player than a ranged. So that's why I wouldn't go with the other ones. That's my personal play style. But when I'm doing the build of like the best gear to have depending on your play style, then you can come back and like change certain things if it's if it doesn't work out for you, if it's a different type of build or different type of skill trees. But this one, we have press B by flying to shoot out bolts of lightning at nearby targets. Slowly drains the intrinsic force energy while active. We have hold A while flying to quickly accelerate forward in a momentary speed burst. Drains intrinsic Odin force energy when used. And then we have extended flight generates an electrical charge that is dispersed in an energy explosion and impact. I think this one's good because as you can see those guys with the shield on, they got taken out instantly. So I think this one's really good, to be honest. Move on to this one. We have Defeat enemies or own forces active strikes nearby targets with lightning. This is good because it's area of effect. We like that. Destroy multiple targets at once is always good. Dealing damage while own force is active will recover 2% willpower per hit. And then we have defeating enemies while owner force is active has a 25% chance to generate region packs for all team members, which is okay. Intrinsic ability: increase the maximum amount of intrinsic owner force energy by 15%. Performing a perfect dodge grants 30 points of intrinsic owner force energy. Personally, I don't dodge that much. I do dodge, but not to the point where, I be getting perfect dodges, I'm not gonna lie. And then takedowns grant 30 points of intrinsic owner force energy, which is what we want. Next, we have reduces the overall energy cost of using the intrinsic owner force ability by 10%. Increases the automatic regeneration speed of intrinsic owner force by 12%. And reduces the intrinsic owner force energy incurred while failing to counter against strong arm lock with attacks by 50%. This one would be good, but because I have the hammer that can go through shields and stuff, I don't think I need this. And you can obviously be ranged as well, so it just depends on your playstyle. But I like this one because especially when you come out the Bifrost and you have your overcharge already, and then when you use that overcharge from coming out of the Bifrost, then it's going to recharge 12% quicker. So that's why I would recommend this, because it goes with the Bifrost one. And then intrinsic overcharge. When overcharged, power attacks generate small electrical hazards. When overcharged summoning, surrounding enemies will be intimate. I don't even know how to say that word. Don't come at me. Struck by lightning. And then explosive defense. When overcharged, countering enemies' attacks summons an additional lightning bolt with an explosion size increased by 35%. That sounds kind of mad. 35% as well. I'm definitely have to go with this one, Chief. This one, increased damage resistance by 50% when own force is overcharged. That is really good. Increased willpower recovery by 2% when owner force is overcharged. Increased heroic energy regeneration when owner force is overcharged by 10%. I think this one's the best. And then the last one is increase all damage by 15% when owner force is overcharged. When owner force meter is full, increase the amount of overcharge energy gained on every attack by 20%. And then increases the amount of overcharged intrinsic owner force energy gained by unarmed attack by 30%. These are all good, to be honest. Any of these are good, but I'm going with this one personally. But yeah, that's it. That's my skill tree of Thor. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys agree or disagree, what builds do you have on your skill tree? What would you change? What would you maybe do differently? But I hope this video did help you guys out. I will be doing an actual skill, gear-based build, in the next couple of videos. But I thought I'd just get this one out of the way. So yeah, tell me what you think. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.